Hi student friends, myself Prem Anand, Assistant Professor Mechatronics Department, Hindustan College of Engineering and Technology. Today we will going to see about the topic in industrial safety and environment. Industrial safety and environment is a wider field. So in this we are going to see about some specific topic relating to addressing stress, psychosocial risk and violence and harassment. Before going to the topic, we all quite facing a lot of stress in our normal life and work life in one any work which we are tend to do in uncomfortable manner. So creating stress in a lot of ways we experience it. So one such stress what we are facing in the pandemic situations and what are the psychosocial factors is involving to making ourselves stress. That is the topic today. And we'll see one by one what are the common psychosocial factors with respect to the pandemic situation. The first thing is the fear of one's own health. So we are afraid of our own health. So we all know that health is an asset of our life. So we can't earn it once at last. So we are always afraid of our own health and also our well-being health and also our family members' health and people who are working with us, that is co-workers' health. So all these the major factors as a psychosocial factor. And second one is lack of safety equipment for the personal protection. And third one is isolation. And fourth one is lack of social support. And fifth one is tension between established safety protocols and the desire to care for a support individual. And last one is difficulty in maintaining our self-care activities like exercise, eating food habits, etc. So the factors, what is exactly what to say is, so we are not aware of which safety equipment we should use and what are the things we should follow when we are in isolated conditions. And we don't get any kind of government supports or social supports or any medical supports. So all those things makes us fear us. And then what exactly the protocol we are following it and whether the protocol is the right system, just washing the hands and wearing the mask and keeping the social distance can make I won't affect in this particular disease. So all these the protocols itself we doubt ourselves. That also create ourselves in stress. So these are all the things when we go into work, we first of all fear ourselves with respect to the protections we have, with respect to the safety we have. In overall, what kind of output we'll get with these kind of fears, we'll automatically gets low mood, our mood gets affected, and we don't get any kind of positive mood over there in our work culture, and we will automatically gets less motivated into the work, and we gets a lot of stress involved in our work, and we'll get a lot of anxiety and a lot of depression. Even more, somebody's keep on thinking about the same thing again and again. They may go into the mental death or mental health disorder too. So these are all the some of the psychosocial factors is leading towards making ourselves stress. And the next one is, this is very important factor. We all facing it. Job uncertainties. Many are faced and very few is not faced. We can say, sorry, we are closed due to COVID-19. You can see this picture. So many of the industries or many of the entrepreneurs, uh, got into the out of job. So many of the industries has closed and many of the laborers have no work at all. So all these conditions are due to COVID-19. We can see one by one the points which we discussed in a job uncertainty. The first one is large number of workers and entrepreneurs and self-employed persons are out of work. And we know that many of these things due to essential or on demand basis, somebody call for very temporarily, or even they can call for only 50% of the days, or even it might be the alternate days, or it might be only week in a month, or only one day per week. So a lot of industries has followed, a lot of education systems has followed their own rules, framing it and according to the needs. They cannot come out of the situations. Also, the COVID is also straight away. It is not gone by within a day. It is extended over and over by year, and it is passed again more than 13 to 14 months. Still, we are suffering in the COVID, so there nobody has tend to follow some kind of unique decisions. So whatever the financial status of the particular company or particular system, they're following it on their own. So the temporary closure of the business has affected a lot of persons, and changes in the work progress arrangements. Somebody has to be changing the shift work also, and somebody has to be changed totally another get into the another job that is supposed to work on it. There is no other go on the essential basis. So these are all makes the fear of job uncertainty. And in the end, what the every individual's output over there, it also increases the stress of the particular individual, and anxiety and depressions and reduced motivations. So all those things, every individual is affected in the COVID-19 situations. And next one is workers in the emergency response and in essential services. That is need based, or when the emergency the people are called towards the work in offline. This is the mode we know that in COVID we are many are worked in online, and many few are called for only for emergency purposes and essential services in the offline works. When we get into the offline works, what are the psychosocial factors affects the particular human? The first thing is the fear of being infected in the particular disease during the work. So every individual is afraid of seeing the other individuals. They can far away distances come into the work, and many individuals comes from different locations. Either anyone gets affected due to the other persons. That is the main thing. That is the fear of being infected at work, and then it is automatically passing on the disease to the our own family. That is the first and foremost fear for every individual persons. We may say that we don't get fire, it won't affect me. All kind of lame reasons we can say, but every individual has in-depth fears there. Many can hide and work. And second one is lack of access towards the personal productive equipment or and support. That is, we doesn't have uh, the personal protection on this support. And working in the environments with low capacity, usually we are working in a number of thousands. So in this situation, they may call only 300 to 400 peoples for our work. So automatically, the thousands of work is converted towards the particular percent of 300 to 350. Automatically, the workload gets increased. Once the workload gets increased, they don't get any kind of rest period at all. So it may cause chances of increasing the violence, and may have a chances of increasing the social stigma, or chances of increasing the harassments and discriminations. So all those things is a major factor. So once we are getting to the work, they may call 40% of the worker, the again 60% is stopped. What is the ratio they can call the 40-60? That itself we get into the discriminations and partialities and higher and lower cadets. All these problems will come. So totally it causes the output. It increases the fatigue, and again it increases the stress and negative impact and negative mental health and well-being gets affected. Okay, these are all some of the factors when we call for some kind of essential services and somebody call for work and many of them get stopped. So all this increases the stress and increases the injuries, and when we get into the work, kind of this kind of attitudes and this kind of things in mind, so automatically some workers gets injured and some accidents will also be occurred. And how we are going to reduce this? So what are the things we makes to prevent this? So as a such measure, that is occupational societal health rules, what what the way we can avoid these kind of stresses? So they have listed on some 10 points regarding this. The first one is you have to give good communications and up to date information towards to the workers. And not only the individual responses, you can have a collective responses like multidisciplinary sessions to identify the concerns and work together and solve your strategies. Have some your own strategies and solve the problems. Not an individual can solve all these problems. Can lead towards and work together and solve these kind of problems. That is one of the way to prevent. And clearly set the checklist to access personal strength and limitations. You know each and every individual strength and limitations of the work. So give the work according to it and recognize the signs of stress and burnout. You know the strength of some employees, you know the weakness of some of the employees. If we give the lot of works to the weak employees in an isolated way, whether the things will work? No, not at all. And next is you go ahead with respect to some kind of buddy systems, like you have monitoring support with respect to psychological support towards the particular workers and giving the sufficient rest periods for the particular workers and promote the opportunities for the physical health in terms of some needs some kind of exercises, some needs some kind of healthy foods. So all this makes to prevent. In addition to this, opportunities to promote the physical health, like in terms of exercises and giving healthy foods, and psychological supports towards the workers, like asking them without any fears, just open up your ideas. So, what exactly you are worrying about? What is exactly the things you are facing in this period? So, all these things comes out only you have a very good support system and very good motivational systems, and we have very good training systems, and some of the supervisors and heads has to be as a role model and to ways to mitigate the stress over there. And you have to make some kind of campaigns to reduce the particular stress. And like we have a participatory environment, and like we can have healthy debate over here, and what to do and what not to do. And you can make some kind of innovative solutions, not to show each one attitude, and they can help each others and promote good in terms of abnormal situations like this. These are all helps to reduce each and individual stress. And next thing is, you all know that that is a quite thing we talked about so far. It is offline. When we get into those online works, the online many gets full salary, and many of the institutions is not ready to give full salary in terms of online. They may give 60% of the salaries, and you can completely work from home for a complete 30 days. Some may give only the 30% of the salary. You may get into the work for an entire 30 days. So all these itself, that the financial itself kills you more than that anything. And ahead of your health conditions, you are already the mentally weak, and your financial conditions is also getting weak. You know that how it treats to you. So while you are working from home, so what are all the difficulties? The first thing is in terms of work aspect, you are losing many informations. Actually, you are into the work in terms of offline. You may get, that what is the information is there, and where it is there, and whom to ask and how to do. And you will get a lot of help from your co-workers and individuals and your heads. But when you are going to work from home, you are alone and you are isolated, and you are doing your works for alone, and you are doing your work with respect to some less information. That itself you gets a lot of hectic over here. So what are the things we normally face when we are in work from home? That is WH system. That is, you don't get adequate information, that is inadequate informations, and you are isolated, and you tend to force to work for a long working hours, and you don't get any kind of relaxation between your family and life and work. You don't compensate all these things. If you go in offline and come towards your family, you get a sufficient enough time in the evening and night. But when you are working in the online, you are supposed to work for 24 cross 7. That means that you have to make yourself sacrificed with your time, suitable time for your own family. That is blurring lines between the work and the family life. And multiple burdens like working duties and household dresses and household takers, and sometimes you want to cook, and sometimes you have to care about your children, online classes, all those things in the major mental factors. And next is this is keep on you are doing it. The There is no relaxation between the family and work, you automatically gets bored of one stage and you get frustrated, and even it causes domestic violence too. So how to reduce this? This is all to be reduced. This is completely only in the aspect of the leaders or the managements. They have very committed systems, they have very good support system towards the workers, and very good support systems, and very good supervisor has to be support towards the subordinates. All those things leads, they have a clear picture. So what is the clear expectations, what is the results I need, when to achieve, and what exactly the task I need, what is the flexibility of the systems. And they have to be somewhere disconnected from work and reserved for some time and for a family and appropriate. And moreover, some of them face a lot of difficulties in their home. Somebody can work in from rural areas, somebody working in the remote places, they don't get any kind of net, they don't have good laptops and good telecommunication systems. So all those, there is no lack of IT supports, lack of IT supports towards the particular systems also gets affected into it. So those kind of facilities also has to be, the company has to provide for the particular persons, and good system of communications and good services, good assistant programs, good training programs. So all these only helps when even he is isolated, he don't think that he is working alone, he is working with some group, and any supports can be attained at any time, at whenever he's needed. That kind of support system is actually needed. Those and all, once he gets, he don't get stress into it, he works like anything. And the quality of work is also getting increased, and the productivity is also automatically gets increased. I hope with this you know that how to burn out your stress, and what are the things you have to take. And you should not be emotionally detached out of work, but all these struggles has to be reduced at some point. So I hope you understand what are the things make you stress in your work and make you stress in COVID-19. So keep motivating yourselves. Have a positive vibes. Thank you. Thank you for passionate listening. Thank you once again. Thanks.